All right, so not only I've talked about before that the vast majority of people are visual, meaning that we visually see something, we kind of get an understanding, and then we figure it out in our mind, like conceptually, what is that? We read about it, we learn it. But visual is the first thing that we really rely on. The other thing that kind of solidifies it is if you can visually, like as you'll see, I'll show you the similar patterns so you see them, but then the key is to somehow write it. So, we've all said why, some people rewrite their notes, others don't. And a lot of people say, why do I have to work so many problems? It's because when you actually physically write something, you're creating a memory track, all right? Now you might be thinking, what in the world does this have to do with organic chemistry? All of these things matter, okay? These are things that don't take extra time out of your studying. So for example, you're gonna have to work problems anyway, and you're gonna have to write the answers. So if you see why you're doing it and you understand that, oh, this is actually gonna help me, then it makes it easier, right? Because a lot of people will ask, well, why do you want me to do that, right? The why is the big question, right? Well, if I give you a reason that's going to help you increase your grade, well, then it's obvious, right? Of course, you're going to write it out because it's going to help you increase your grade, because it's going to build patterns in your mind, and then it's going to make it easier to do, right? But you don't need to know all of that, right? That's just the way of me explaining it. But now that you know it, you don't have to remember that. You can just do it, all right? So first, I like to show the patterns visually. And then what you need to do is at least write it out. Or even if you don't want to write your own problems, what you can do is, remember when you were a kid and you were learning how to write the alphabet and you traced? Just trace a reaction. You might say, that won't work. Yes, it will. All of these tips that I give you are very, very effective. They're so simple that people will dismiss them. That's what I found in life is the simplest things are the most powerful and effective, but we disregard them because we think they're too simple, right? I mean, think about how powerful it was tracing letters when you were a kid. Now you can write books and novels, right? So it's not a small thing. The other tip that I recommend doing is once you've, visually understood the patterns and you've written things out, write something that you're struggling with out on a note card and put it in your pocket. And every time you have a couple minutes here and there, whether you're riding an elevator, waiting for a friend, on a bus, whatever, take the note card out and look at it, right? It's only going to take a couple seconds. Maybe you spend a minute. Maybe you got a minute. Look at it and then put it back in your pocket. If you do this continually throughout your week, what will happen is you can see that you're going to start adding time of studying time, and you don't have to take extra time out. You're doing this in between classes. You're doing waiting for friends. By the time the week is over, when you get ready to put your hand in your pocket to pull that card out, you're already going to remember what it is, and that shows you that you've already made the association so you know what you're looking for. I'm all about incorporating things into your life and making it as simple as possible. That's kind of like my motto ever since I can remember, since I was 5 years old. I have always been interested in what is the simplest way to get somewhere, but also the most effective and most powerful. So I use these tips myself. Obviously, I'm not taking organic chemistry, but I use them in other aspects of my life because they work and they're very powerful. So I like to share what I'm doing myself. It's very ineffective if you're going to teach something to somebody if you yourself aren't doing it. So I want to let you know that I use these myself. I tell students to use these, and they're very, very powerful.